Nightwing number 25, Tim Seeley writing, and Kaiju Jung on art. So this was the conclusion. This is also a longer issue. This was their, issue 25. Kind of like the other books last month. This got a longer page count, dollar extra on the price. So this was the sort of, it was a wrap up of the arc with a sort of blockbuster, but not in the sense that it was completely conclusive. In that it's very much setting up a new status quo, where we have this blockbuster as like a crime boss in Bloodhaven, and even has Tiger Shark sort of as a pet at the end of the story here. But it obviously sets up some other stuff as well. Some computer wizardry person seemingly kills Giz. Like he looks dead at the end of this.
He does, but I don't think they're gonna. I hope they don't do that.
I think they might have done, because this is, the whole point of these issue 25s was having these big things, and there was some other stuff in here that was big and game changing for Nightwing.
Yeah,
but that feels like there's blood everywhere when he's lying there. He looks pretty dead.
Yeah, pretty shocking. And it also, given that Sean also breaks up with Dick in this issue, right? And given that she seems to be going back with Pigeon, and that might lead to like a more villainous plot, it wouldn't surprise me if some of these characters from this group of runaways actually do break up. Some of them might die, and that whole sort of status quo is kind of shattered through some dark events here.
Yeah, because it'll make it feel like this whole, the rehabilitation and everything getting better. It was all kind of temporary, and he'll look at this and go, but can it?
Yeah, I think Dick's going to have some really dark times in his head right now, between being obviously his relationship ending, but I think some of these characters basically falling victim to plots around him are going to it's going to give him that Spider-Man guilt basically for a while, and we can focus on how that affects him and stuff. Basically, the whole explosion at the end of the last issue, which was the big cliffhanger, he uses the time vest that was introduced before with that issue with Flash to with Wally, specifically Wally Flash. He uses that to sort of basically freeze time to get everyone out, including himself. We have some more fun stuff with him, Zavboda, the detective. She has to give him a kiss of life, and that gives him some fun moments where she's like joking about still tasting him, and she's complaining about all their relationship and how he's not doing stuff for her, and it's a whole thing. I'm really liking the dynamic. I'm liking the fact that, unlike Batman with Gordon, this is a cop who kind of hates his guts and is begrudgingly working with him. It's almost like this. It's almost like Bullock working with Batman is Zavboda. She actually reminds more of a female Bullock than she does anyone else.
That's since she came on, and it's not just the cigars; it's her whole attitude towards it that gets me as Bullock.
But she did feel bad that her getting defensive about her co-workers in the last issue is kind of what led to all this going down. So she actually, she has a little bit of a conscience. She's not just...
Yeah, I think it's just a way of showing that she's not... Because at the time it felt like she was kind of being a bad cop.
Yeah.
By just being so loyal to them. But here it shows, no, she's not a bad cop. She was just caught up in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's just giving her a little bit of depth, and they're really building her up as this running character that's going to be here for probably the entire run, maybe beyond, in Bloodhaven. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we had the big breakup. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
I know they've been having issues, right? But this felt a little just too quick. Like with her being like, "Well, I told you need to get your feet under you, so." Clearly, you don't want to do that.
Well, yeah, but the way I was, it's not really about that, because she's saying that, but it's clearly about Pigeon being back.
Yeah, I feel like
that's what it is.
It's a combination of that. It's going back to Pigeon. It's what's Pigeon saying into her ear.
Right?
Little birdie in your ear. That whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
but it was just on. If they were gonna break up, I wanted to be more emotional, I guess, and it didn't. I felt it was missing.
I don't know, that panel where he's kneeling on the window, gonna leave.
Well, the one that got me was when he wakes up and she's not there.
Yeah, he's talking about that. Well.
Yeah. That part got me more.
Yeah, so his heartbreak over it does feel kind of real, and I am kind of worried about how tragic this is going to get if she is going to go back to her life of crime, and where does that lead? You know, I can almost envision the emotional scene later on with Nightwing trying to talk her down from doing something bad.
Yeah, when he has to take her out at some point.
Yeah,
This is going to be cruel.
I can see that, and obviously, again, he's got this new kind of arch nemesis in Blockbuster, who is now this crime boss. That scene where Dick goes to the casino, the bar, and Blockbuster basically taunts him and says, "Oh yeah, I'm the new boss in charge around here, and you're actually good for business because you're what's going to sell all these weapons because they all want to kill you." And you know, Dick kind of pushes his buttons by saying, "Oh, you're just doing this to prove you're the better brother." And that's when he rages out for a second and smashes half the bar with the one big mutated arm. I thought that was a fun moment. I'm kind of liking that they're really sort of building up a cast of villains now that are going to be around for a while. It doesn't just feel like, you know, one and done's. Like they've set him up as this new thing, and I think this is probably the most I've liked this Blockbuster as well since he's came back. You know, in this situation, especially when he's wrestling with the mutated sharks from other planets that Tiger Sharks got for him.
Dude, when he opened that up and he had shark tigers, I lost it.
They're amazing, aren't they?
Oh man, it's up there with Jason Aaron's space sharks that he throws into things. Like,
I love that. You know, all the villains, they have a red button that does something, and his is release the shark tigers.
Yeah, because you can't call them tiger sharks because that's a real life creature, right? So these are shark tigers. He mixed both, like, yeah.
Or he got them from another planet.
Also, it's his tongue forked. Like I didn't notice this before. Like it looks really red as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's had something done to it. And
it does a good job of really selling Blockbuster as this force because he actually wins this fight. He doesn't cheat. He doesn't do any trickery. He just wins. Nope. He's just better.
Oh man, when he grabs the jaws and rips it apart. God damn, that's
some full-on King Kong action right there.
And see, I like too that we get more of him because he hulks out, for lack of a better term, but he keeps his wits about him. And what I like is that when Dick's at the bar at the end with him, and basically he's like, "Well, you played yourself, man, because I know exactly how to deal with you," and he smashes the barge with just the one arm.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen that before. That was a cool touch. Like he can just do it to certain parts of his body.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, and of course he's got to take, you know, the pill to counteract it, so it doesn't happen to the rest of it, you know, or the serum, whatever it is. Because you see him swigging that.
I like as he's walking away, like his suit, like that sleeve and that side of his suit's all ripped, but the rest of it's fine. Like I like that.
I just like that he's straightening his tie. It's such a classic moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. I'm really liking that they're setting him up as a sort of ongoing sort of menace that Nightwing has to deal with. While he's dealing with other villains and other threats, he's always got this crime boss Blockbuster to worry about.
I like that he's got a relationship with him in his life as Dick as well, rather than just as Nightwing.
That's right. He gets a job at the casino undercover.
Yeah, as a blackjack dealer, which I thought was a little bit weird. Just
why is that weird?
For a job for a superhero, that's just like.
I guess the problem is the hours are a bit conflicting.
Yeah, you know, it's just. I'm sure it'll play out fine. I wasn't expecting it.
It's probably not going to last that long, though. It'll probably just be for a little while he's dealing with
him. Like that's not a deal breaker. It's just like, no. So he's a car dealer now. Cool.
Honestly, in the old series, when he was supposed to be working at the bar and he was still being Nightwing, even that was far-fetched. It was like, how do you even have time for any of this? You can't keep a schedule.
I just like that Blockbuster's this mob boss, but he's or crime boss, but he's actually Dick's boss, like literally.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch and could be interesting.